You are joining us for the next instalment of Landlord 2020 Vision campaign running throughout January here on Property Tribes. And right now we are going to be talking finance, and I'm joined by Jeni, Browne from Mortgages for Business, who are a partner brokerage of Property Tribes. And Jeni, we've always said on Property Tribes that finance is the lifeblood of any landlord business. And you know, new landlords coming into the sector in 2020, I always say to them, your first port of call is speak to a broker, because until you know if you can access financial products and the type of products you can access with your circumstances, it's all a bit of a moot point until you know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that in terms of what landlords should be doing, it's January, it's the start of the year, it's time to start making plans. And first things we would encourage people to do is really just do some investigation to make sure that what you have in place is the right thing for you and it's the most competitive. So, by all means, call us or another broker, but just make sure that you review your financing arrangements, make sure you have a competitive deal, and look to see if maybe you can save yourself some money for this year.
Because I remortgaged just at the tail end of last year on two properties, and just those two alone I saved £600 a month. And obviously if you've got a much larger portfolio, that can escalate to a lot more of a saving.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite amazing how much there is to be saved actually by doing a remortgage. And I think the other thing is that at the start of the year people are really kind of putting their 12-month plan in place. They're really thinking about what they're going to be doing. And one of the things that we have found is people often come to us and say, I really want to grow my portfolio this year, but I can't get any more funding against my existing assets. I can't raise any money. Because my existing lender's telling me that I can't. And actually we've been able to help people raise money. So if this year is the year that you would like to grow your portfolio, and we're definitely sensing a hotting up in the investment market at the moment, but you're worried about how you're going to raise funds, then just make some inquiries. It could be that actually there are more doors open to you than you think.
And again, I think you've highlighted, as we always say, the importance of a broker who is whole of market, like Mortgages for Business. You do this day in, day out. You help landlords fund very complex projects right down to a standard single occupancy buy-to-let. So I think, again, in 2020, finance needs to be at the front of landlords' minds. And you can't kind of be complacent about it and just forget about it, because the fixed rate comes to an end, you're jumping up onto the SVR. You actually need to be aware of when these changes are coming.
Yeah, I think it's really important that borrowers are really aware of where they are with their finances. I also think as well, it's a really competitive time to borrow money. Interest rates are as low as I can really remember, so why not review your options, at the start of the year, make sure you've got a good deal, lock into a really, really competitive interest rate, ideally for 5 years, because it buys you security for a long period of time, and be really proactive and take charge of the situation.
I totally agree with you, and I think the 5-year fix is what I've been going for of late. And I think when you take into account the fees to arrange the mortgages, they're the same for pretty much the same for a 2-year to a 5-year fix. You have to take the fees into account, because obviously many people choose to add them to the loan, which I recommend myself. I expect you do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think everybody has different requirements and different plans, but I think a 5-year fix is great because you're spreading the fee over a longer period of time. There are often other costs as well that you have to pay, but also, at a period of time where we're going into the new year with some uncertainty ahead of us, we're at a 0.5% base rate. That's probably going to go up at some point. This is going to really buy you a 5-year window of guaranteed payments, which will ride out, a potential, rocky period.
I love what you say there, Jeni, because it's peace of mind for landlords in 2020, yes. Isn't it? And we do need peace of mind sometimes. So thank you very much for joining me as part of our 2020 Vision campaign, and all the best to you in the year ahead. And we look forward to doing more with Mortgages for Business throughout the year to come. Thank you.